that seems okay. I wasn't quite sure if I knew how to talk about that. Like, okay, well, let's just dive in, see what happens.
I don't know. It was an interesting subject, and I've been down. I was down at the shore, and yesterday was a pretty busy day. I did all sorts of neat things. The last of which was doing a video of Sean. I don't know if you ever talked to Sean, but she was a Circle of 10 lady, and she's doing a women's coaching thing that's fairly interesting. I'm sort of like the male fly on the wall with male energy in the room.
Nice.
Which can get interesting.
yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, I did talk to her. She was really sweet. It was really nice. Yeah, she's doing good things. I like to see that. Yeah, she seemed like a really great girl.
Yeah, I listened to after you had so much fun listening to the Patriot. I'm calling it Patriot, but really the first 40 minutes of the first 51 was a lot of other stuff, and I did get a good feel. I listened to it on the way home and got a good feel as to how to segment it. There was about 7 minutes in the first half, and then the second one broke down 15, 15, and 10. So it'll break into about 4 parts, it looks. And yeah, every time I listen to it, it gets better and better.
I thought it was amazing. Yeah, I was really, I had no idea I don't know, it just seemed to flow so nicely, I thought. And what we said, I can't even remember anymore, but it was really, that was great. I thought it was great, and I was worried, that that I was going out on a limb there. But something just keeps telling me, you just gotta be brave and just do what you do and speak your heart, and that's what we were doing with that, and I thought it was great.
Yeah, you have a way, or the child in you has a way of softening the blow. In terms of it isn't a direct attack. It's just sort of logic, reason, and sweetness that almost makes the medicine go down, is the way I would describe it. Mixing a little sugar in there, but it wasn't at all confrontational, and it really fits your criteria of being able to say things in such a way that it isn't going to get an immediate violent ego reaction to it, or a denial kind of thing. It's we're back to the snake charming. I was talking to my buddies yesterday, and somehow I got on this metaphor of the snake, and eventually the world ego and the personal ego is sort of like, it's got fangs essentially, but when it has no fangs, then you can make anything out of it you like to, basically. And
but as you talk about that, I think for me, I'll tell you what it is. It's just honesty. The heart knows honesty.
Yes.
And so there's nothing to no one's heart can sort of rebel or turn against an honest heart, an honest statement. And I think there's something in that it isn't about none of this. That's what's so beautiful about the truth. It's not about sides. It's not about the linear world vision of things. There's no sides taken here. It's above the sides. It's and greater than both sides, or all sides, or any sides. Any place along the linear view is collected up or included within the total view. It's like a difference between seeing from the unseen value, the true what is of absolute value, which is the unseen, the things of the spirit, the things of the heart, the things of the that holy realms, let's say, or that all-inclusive, infinite presence of God. That is an unseen. That is an essence that is the value, the absolute reality that is bringing all the linear at the bottom of at the base of it, so that everybody in the material vision, the tangible world, is valueless. That there's no intrinsic value in matter, space, time, images, in the images. So, but the human idea has reversed it and made the unseen not the value, and the material is, they have thought, they think, they believe there's value in matter. Whereas from the insight, which is what we were going to talk about, but that insight shows us that the value is the ever-present isness of being that is being all things. And somehow, coming from that honest, that's where the honesty is. It's in that unseen, infinite sense of identity and what is. And so it can kind of speak to anywhere along that line without it feeling divisive, because it's not. It's all included. I mean, one can see that no matter where you are along the range of what you want to call yourself, whether you're left or right or poor or rich, or all of that is really valueless and contained within the all. And so I guess talking from that is what I mean by honesty. It's an honest view that sees sort of the greater unreality of all the different little aspects, and yet includes them all and embraces them all. So anyway, that's kind of what we were doing, I think.
Yeah, what that calls to mind is speaking from the heart.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is, and that's what the child does, and that's what's so beautiful about it. It doesn't, I don't think it offends, it just can't, because everyone has that child heart. And if you speak to that, to anybody, I think they go, oh yeah, I see what you're saying. At least I think so. So, we just kind of will do what we do, and I thought we did pretty good with that. So well, whatever we did, it was nice, yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like, see, I have an advantage, and I'm in the process of working on a Dropbox that I'll be able to, as a shared folder with you. You put Dropbox on your computer. It's just Dropbox.com. And we can have a shared folder that I can put the latest thing in there, and you can go to Dropbox and listen to it on your computer. It's a shared folder that would sort of expedite the process. I'm going to do that for Stanley as well. The other thought that comes into mind, and this gets a little bit more intellectual about it, is that the whole includes both sides. So it's non-exclusive, and whichever side somebody perceives themselves to be on, I think is intuitively seen as included within the whole that's doing the speaking when it comes from the heart.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right, because it is whole, and so it is speaking to everyone, really. I mean, it's not really taking sides or dividing people into categories, and, that's what's so beautiful about the truth, is Yes, and it's not ideas that some other human has doled out to say, like it doesn't take another human to tell you who you are. It's like you are already undivided. It's kind of pointing to that, I think. That's where one really is speaking the truth, is to say you are already in the true essence of who you are, in the true value of what is, and your true being. There are no divisions, none of those labels are real. Those are just things we've taken on as the human condition. The human false, mistaken belief identity has taken on all these different labels and concepts and ideologies and I'm this and I'm that. Well, that's not knowing who you really are when you're claiming to be something small, let's say, something limited, something with a limited view that says I'm a this or I'm a that. I'm an anything, like I don't have what you have, or I want what you have, or all that is about humans who have taken on labels that have no reality whatsoever, and that's why speaking from the heart is realizing that all those labels have no validity, they have no power, they have no truth to them. And if you can speak from that, I think the other guy can kind of for a moment realize that all these concepts or ideologies or dogmas or beliefs he's put on himself, and they aren't real anyway, so they just kind of fall, they're sort of like the barnacles falling off the boat, It's like there was a sweet story about that I heard once a long time ago, and I thought it was neat. It was that if a saltwater boat, like that has barnacles on the bottom of it,
right,
if it floats into a clear water lake, or they put it in a clear water, lake, and it sits there, the barnacles fall off all by themselves. You don't have to scrape the hull. But I thought that was so interesting because it always made me think of if you just kind of stay with this in the pristine waters of the light of truth, you don't have to try to get rid of your ideologies, your concepts, all the false beliefs. If you just stay in this pure presence, the barnacles just fall off, and it's true. So maybe speaking from, I always think if you just speak from that purity, then somehow you can't cling to your to those false precepts about who you are when you're maybe hearing those words that ring that bell of purity, that are coming from a place that isn't full of labels and conditions and beliefs, and somehow maybe that kind of strikes a bell that sort of loosens those false ideas and beliefs that the separated sense believes it's separated and thinks it's somebody and thinks it was born and raised in time and this happened to it and that happened to it, and all that is a false accumulation. It isn't real. So it's funny because when we speak about all the craziness that's happening in the world, that's what we're kind of talking about, is it's all based on these false concepts of each person believing